Hey everybody, this is Elliot with Modern Music Studio. We are going to go into using MIDI to kind of create instrument tracks today. So I'm going to hop right into it. So first off, let's create a MIDI track. You just right click, hit insert MIDI track. You can also hit Shift Command M. Oh, wrong one. It is, it should be Shift Command M. My bad, Shift Command T. Shift Command M is to create a MIDI clip. But cruising in, I'm just gonna name one of these piano, just because I'm gonna start off with the piano sound. We're gonna go over here, go to your instruments. You're gonna have a bunch of different things in here. I recommend Operator is one of my favorite instruments that comes with Ableton. And I'm just going to drop it, hit this little arrow, it's going to drop down, and I want to go to my piano and keys. Let's see what we got here. I kind of like this funky organ thing, so I'm going to start with that. And I want to do this in the session view, so we're just going to hit tab. We're going to be in the session view here. I'm going to select the section, or the amount of time that I want this clip to be. For here, I'm just going to go 2 bars. And what I'm going to do is go Shift Command M, and that will insert your clip for you. And we're going to bring up this piano roll right here. Now, before we begin, I want to kind of start with this cool little feature that helped me out a lot when I was starting off. I happen to know that I want this piano piece to be in the key of A minor. And A minor is just a scale. Most scales are generally just 7 notes from the first note to the last note. The 8th note will be the first note again, just an octave above it. Now with Ableton, you have all these spots that you can click in different notes, but it's a little overwhelming. So this trick that I like to do is I like to find my scale, and we're in A minor, which is just all the white notes essentially. So we're just going to click all of these in really fast and just go back up to I'm going to do 2 octaves here. So now I have all these notes right here. If you play them all at once, it sounds really bad. But the cool feature with Ableton is you can drag these notes behind where the clip starts. So when I hit play, we're not going to hear any of them. But if you hit fold here, what it does is it just takes away all the notes that are not clicked in, and we're just going to have these notes that I just put in. And luckily we still have the names of every note next to it, so if you're used to seeing the black keys and kind of using those to help you know where you're at, these notes are still here. So let's go ahead and start off. I'm going to put in an A minor chord. It's just A, C, and E. And then we're going to drag that out a little bit, make it about a half bar long. And that will be our first chord. A chord is just several notes played at the same time, and it creates something called a harmony. So let's just duplicate that really quick. Select all the notes, hit Command D, and now we have 2 chords. And I want to switch it up a little bit. I think I'm going to go to E minor now. And E minor is made with an E, a G, and a B. Or where's my E? There we go. So now we got. And let's put one more A minor in there, and I think I'll finish it up with the D minor. I'm not trying to go into music theory in this lesson, but I recommend getting to know it pretty well for making music. It's pretty crucial. So now we have a D minor at the end, and here's our chord progression. I don't really like the way this last chord sounds, so let's try this. There we go. Quick note, if you just want to move a note up an octave, you just hit Shift, and you can go down an octave or up an octave. You can do the same thing highlighting all the notes, but we're just going to stick with this for now. Now, I don't really like the key or the chord being held at the whole time until the next one, because it's not actually really humanly possible to pull that off. So I like putting a little bit of space between each one. Let's hear how this sounds. Nice, that's a little bit better. So now I actually want to do a little bit of tweaking to it, and I'm just going to double click the piano track itself, and it's going to bring up our kind of our parameters or certain things that we can affect on the piano itself, or in this case the organ. We got bright. This is kind of your EQ. Do you want it to sound like warm or dark or bright and shiny kind of? So let's turn this all the way up. So it sounds a little more churchy to me in a way. And then the amp we can turn up. I don't know how this will sound. Distorts it quite a bit, so I'm actually going to bring that back down. And now attack. You'll notice at the beginning of each chord, there's kind of like a plucky sound. Your attack is what's controlling that. So if I turn this up, you'll notice that will go away. And now we got a cool little sound. I actually like that a lot. Motion, this will kind of just make the organ kind of bounce left and right in your ears. I'm gonna like it right about there. Yeah. Alright, so that's kind of just making a quick clip with MIDI using, or making a piano clip using MIDI. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put a little bit of a beat on top of it, just so you guys can kind of get familiar with how the beat will work. I'm going to come down here to my drums. Let's just find a cool sounding kit. Quick note, you'll notice down on this bottom right section of the session view, if we're not using this, there's this darker blue thing with a 0 in it. This is your sample volume. So if I turn this down, it's going to make anything we test out over here quieter. Pretty helpful. This lighter blue one, this is your master volume. These light blue ones up here are also your volume. But I'm a big fan of this session dry kit, so I'm going to start with that. Let's just drag and drop it on our third MIDI track. And now we have the drums on this track. So same ordeal, we're just going to highlight what we want to put the drums on, Shift Command M, and we create a new track. I'm not going to do the fold thing for this particular one because I don't really need to. But I'm going to go in and enter in a couple kicks. We have this thing looped right now, so I can kind of just play it and build a beat as we go. Alright, I like that. So now I'm actually going to come in, we're going to do, as always, label your tracks pretty well. I'm just going to call this one MIDI drums. This one, I'm going to take a hi-hat and put it in an audio clip just because I want to do a little bit more tweaking to it, so to speak. So I'm just going to come in here, let's type in hi-hat under my samples. This is your search bar, so anything you type hi-hat, it's going to bring up everything that you have for hi-hats. Most of your samples will be in here. I generally like to work with my samples on an external hard drive, so I'm not just taking up my entire computer's memory with all of my samples. But for now, I'm just going to rock some of these. I like this one a lot. I'm gonna actually put it in here. I'll put that away. Let's zoom in a bit. So I like this one because it's a little bit shorter. It's not as doesn't have as long as of a decay, and we can even make it shorter still by doing this. And I'm just gonna put it every I think these are 16th notes right now, and we're just gonna fill it out. I'm gonna come over here. Let's turn it down a bit, and I'm gonna pan it to the left. And then I think I'm going to want to put a little bit of delay into it just to give it a touch more character, but let's hear how it sounds right now. Let's turn it down, it's a little loud. Add a little bit of delay. Perfect. I'm going to add in another track really quick, and this is going to be our, I guess I'm going to call it our stretch hi-hat in a sense. And let's make it a different color, something I can work with so we can see what we're looking at. Now, Ableton has this awesome feature with its audio clips, and it's called Warp. So what you do is you double-click the clip title, come over here, and you hit Warp. You'll notice everything kind of looks a little different now, and what Warp enables you to do is you can stretch and compress your audio. So if you come to this like slightly darker gray line up here and you double click, you enter in one of these points, and what this allows you to do is stretch and compress your audio. Now I like stretching stuff quite a bit sometimes because it gives this awesome sounding effect. I'm not exactly sure how I describe it, so I'm just going to play it for you really quick, and we're going to turn this down. But here's what it sounds like. So it's just like a kind of grainy, stretched out sound. I like it. So let's hear it now. So it's a dope little beat. I like it a lot. And that's just kind of the 101 of using, like, say, a piano or drums and stuff, just kind of getting you familiar with making a beat. You can also record your piano into this the same way we do our drums when you just hit the record enable and play it on your pad or your piano. I'm on a 64 pad MIDI controller right now, so it's a little harder to play like chords and stuff on a piano track, but you get the idea. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time.